we can start. Okay, so the first question is currently 1 in 6 Americans are Hispanic, 1 in 4 children under the age of 18 are Hispanic. And since the majority of growth in the Hispanic population now comes from births and not immigration, this group is expected to grow in both size and political power over the next several decades. In 2012 election, approximately 75% of Hispanics voted for the Democratic Party. Do you think that the growing Hispanic population will shift power to the Democrats in future generations? Why or why not? What do you guys think?
I think that it is possible. And I think that Hispanics would probably have to outnumber all other voters in the company with other people in Europe who completely have like a shift in power.
I agree. I think it's pretty possible and plausible just with the numbers and everything. Like if it's ever growing, like the chances of them not being involved in political power are a lot less than them being involved.
The next question is pretty similar to it because it talks about who they'll vote for. But I think I've seen a mixture because I have family. My half sister is Cuban, so we know a lot of her Cuban family. But then I'm Dominican, and so I think the next question kind of talks about it. But I just see differences in like nationalities and who they vote for. I think Cubans are more likely to be Republican, while Dominicans or Puerto Ricans are more likely to vote for the Democratic Party. So, but I don't know if altogether they'll shift to the Democratic Party. So I don't know.
I think that's a generalized like thing, kind of. Like, I mean, there are like popular like parties or whatever within groups, but like it depends to each person, to each their own kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think maybe like over time it might shift, like in a long period of time. If the statistics say like 75% is if it keeps going, then it might shift over time. Like not like in a few years, but maybe like the next 20, 30 years.
It would definitely take time for sure. I feel like any big shift takes a lot of time too.
Do you mean shift to the Republican Party or to the Democratic Party? Like continue?
Continue. But then again, like things change and it could go back and forth. Like one year it might be this and then the other year it might shift a different way depending on who's running and what they agree upon.
That's what I feel. So I feel like there's too many factors to determine if they'll gravitate more towards one party than another. So okay, I think we can go to the next one. Does anyone else have any other thoughts, or just move on to the next one? Ronald Reagan once said that, quote, Latinos are Republicans, they just don't know it yet. Many political commentators note that since many Hispanics are highly religious, entrepreneurial, and value family, they are a natural fit with Republican ideals. From the characteristics you read about in this chapter, which political party do you think Hispanics fit with? Do you think this varies by nationality?
I think it goes back to what you were saying earlier. It for sure varies from nationality to nationality, but crap, I lost my train of thought. For sure the highly religious, entrepreneurial, and family values play a large role in their political standpoint.
Yeah, I think like right now we see how, Trump and the border, it's affecting Mexicans a lot, just separating people, or just there's a lot going on by Trump wanting to create this wall. Whether we agree with it or not, there's a lot involved. And it affects the country, but it also affects Mexicans. And so it seems that if I were Mexican, I think I would be pretty mad about how, like, the outward hostility that Trump has against, this whole thing. And so if I were Mexican, I would totally just be like, I don't like the Republican Party, or maybe I don't like the political figure, but I do reside with like Republican ideals. But if I'm Cuban and I'm coming from like a communist country, I'm gonna enjoy, or like I'm going to reside more with Republicans because of my experiences with it. So I think it varies very big on nationality. Very
for
big.
sure.
I just think currently they're drawing away from the Republican Party just because of Trump so far.
Yeah.
Like majority, just because of what's going on.
Okay, we can go on to the next one. Does anyone else have any other thoughts? Michaela, do you have anything? Or
No, I agree with everything you guys said, because the same nationality can vote differently in a different state as opposed to another state with the same nationality, just areas. I don't think Hispanics fit in with just one.
yeah. Okay, the major political issues that have shaped Hispanic voting patterns tend to be deportation and immigration. How do you think a growing Hispanic population will shape policies in these issues in the future?
I feel like they're very loyal to their nationality, and if they were like in political power, they would do all that they can to not only help the Americans, but also people of their nationality and everything.
Hopefully they will elect more Hispanics to more political positions, which in turn will create policies that are helpful to that community.
Yeah, I think, again, like, it depends on nationality, I think. I don't know, because I think people are loyal. My family, my dad has 6 siblings, and only he and one other sibling are here in Pennsylvania, so the East Coast. And the rest of his siblings are in Dominican Republic. And my dad has been sponsoring them for years, but it's just a process. It takes so long. So they've been sponsoring them for a long time, and all of their children and the grandchildren. I mean, over time, it takes a long time. So I can see what you guys were saying about loyalty to their nationality, and then wanting to increase immigration, especially towards their families and stuff, or I guess, yeah, their nationality. But then I think, because Mexico is right there, there would be the voting patterns would, I don't know. I agree with what you guys said. I think Mexico would be very high on immigration.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last one is kind of a short meeting. Both political parties are trying to court young Hispanic voters for future success. Currently, Hispanic voter turnout is low because many older voters are undocumented, while many eligible voters are young and low income. If you were a party official, how would you try to increase voter turnout among Hispanic voters? So how do you persuade people to vote?
I think the big thing in politics is you kind of got to win them over. You got to get on their good side and do all you can to persuade them. Like, this is a dumb comparison, but if you watch This Is Us, like, they're running for a councilman seat, one of the kids is, and there's a large Asian population in the place that they were in, and he like went out and became like best friends with that community, and they were like, oh, so you're like running, and like people who hadn't voted like in years started voting because he like took an interest in them.
Yeah, I think politicians they just do that. They try to persuade. And I think using immigration as your strong point would probably persuade people to vote. What do you guys think?
I agree with what you guys are saying, like, be amongst these people and like meet them and stuff, and also identify what barriers they may have to voting. Like, maybe they don't have a right to vote, and maybe like the campaign can help via campaign volunteers, or they can help bands that will drive people to the polls. Because if we identify the barriers they encounter, it will be easier to like help them.
Honestly, I think it's just all about the campaign and what the media shape you as to, basically plant a seed on everyone's mind.
Does anyone else have any other thoughts?
No.
No.
We're good.
Good luck on the test.
For real. And did we figure out someone for next week?
Oh no, you're so good at that. I always forget to do that.
I mean, I forget who else was in there. KJ and